What's going on, people? It's Mr. Door back again with the previous show. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, back in action. And this is a big game for Nottingham Forest. We're home to Everton, a team that, as we know, are definitely in trouble. But that's something we're going to talk about. I don't know where Kieran's gone. Must be coming shy. But yeah, big, massive game for Forest. Like I said, people, if you're watching this, watch your score predictions and put them in the comments as well. If you are new to our channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's talk about tomorrow's game. Right, let's get the panel in. First of all, let's start with the man himself. He's been here. He's been out for a long time. He's been hibernating. He's been hiding somewhere. The man himself, Matt. How you doing, Matt?
All right, I've had the Felipe injury, haven't I suppose?
Felipe, what's that?
I don't know. It's a mystery one, but yeah, no. Well, yeah, I'm back. I'm back today anyway, as selected yesterday. So, yeah, nice to be back.
Next up, we've got the Welsh wizard himself, Steve. How do you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good, Ben. Nice to see you back, Matt. Yeah, welcome back. And you as well, yeah.
One mistake and I'll be dropped.
Yeah. You're going to be sin binned.
You're going to be sin binned.
Not sin bin, virtue bin, but
virtual bin.
Ben, you're gonna have to look at the screen and check it.
Yeah, we'll look at the screen. And last but not least, I've got the man. He's a member to the channel, and he hasn't been on the channel for a long time. Have you, Kieran?
A long time. Nice to be back on, and thank you for letting me join on, Door.
Yeah, I had to VAR Kieran because he has been causing trouble online. So, yeah. Kieran,
I'll behave. You never behave.
Yeah, I'll never behave. I'm always on best behaviour. Well, so people, please show some love to Matt, Steve, and Kieran. It's with me. Very good if you can. Let me go through the chat. Matt, great to see you, Tor. Good to see you, Matt. Good to see you, my friend. Mohammed, how are you, Mohammed? Hi, Tor. Big game tomorrow. If we lose, I'm not confident at all. I'm saying Forest 1, Everton 2. Mohammed's not confident at all. Dave, say hi. Ben, hi Steve, hi kids, hi Matt, have a good one. I hope David, he's always on here, top guy here. Hadi, top man as well. I've been in the channel, he's been in the channel for a long time as well. People are doing a poll on who do you think will win tomorrow, Forest, Everton, or a draw. So please get them in as well if you can. Right, let's start with you, Matt. It's been a long time, no see. Like I said, we've got Everton tomorrow. What's been your thoughts, Matt, of the whole season so far?
We had difficult fixtures, haven't we? Overall, I'm quite happy with it. We've made lots of individual mistakes at unfortunate times and probably should have had quite a few more points than we have currently got, probably. I'm not. It's a non-season for me, really. I don't think we're going to get relegated, however badly we do. And we're not going to. We should be using our time to build something more than anything. And I think generally we've moved on a lot from last season, and people's expectations are a little bit too high, basically. But so far so good. Obviously, we've signed a lot of new players. It's going to take a lot of time to settle, and we'll see the results of them settling in the coming weeks and months, hopefully.
Do you think,
past AFCON, of course?
Yeah. Do you think? I say there's been loads of pressure on Steve Cooper. Like other 19 managers, but do you think he was getting fair treatment or not?
I totally back Cooper. I think he's the best man for the job by a million miles, and people not supporting him, having their doubts after 2 results. When you score 2 goals, you lose close games. Is just ridiculous. It's disappointing that people aren't a little bit more loyal than that, and. He should have 2 years or something without having to give it a second thought. He's an exceptionally good manager. We're lucky to have him, and we should keep hold of him as long as we can. I saw someone today who's a bit of an insider, and I said to him, "Have you seen any axes? Are there any axes in the boot being sharpened?" And he said, "No axes, but there's a few. There's always a few daggers around." So I think that's what That's probably true sort of thing. There's always a few daggers around at Forest, but no axes yet. So I don't think we should panic.
There's always going to be people. There's always going to be daggers. Like I said, people won't. Like I want Cooper in. I'm not hard to say. I want him in for more.
Well, I don't understand. people that say, "Oh yeah, we should get rid of him," sort of thing, boring football and all this kind of stuff. This league's not easy, and if you can't express that opinion after every game of the season, then it's probably a stupid opinion. If you can only express it when people are really upset after letting a 2-goal lead go or a home defeat or something like this, you're probably wrong. Those are the moments you're emotional and a bit stupid. That's when your opinion makes sense. The rest of the time, it's daft. So, I think that's what you got to think. We all get upset when we lose games and so forth, but we're doing okay. We're a lot better than we were last season.
Well, yeah, Matt's positive for a change. He's back. He's been off the show for a long time, and he's positive. Bloody hell! People in the chat, do you feel Matt's energy? People in the chat, do you feel like you got to feel it?
A lot of energy.
Not like people who want Cooper out. It is what it is. But let's see if Kieran's got the same energy. Let's see if he's got the same energy as Matt. Kieran, how do you feel about the whole situation?
I think this season has been one of them where we have massively improved. We hoped results were going to be a bit better, but it is what it is. I think we're going to drop points, but Cooper's still learning. It's still a learning process for Cooper. Why?
You know what? He's only 43.
Why do people all of a sudden want him out? Like, we can criticise him and still want him as the manager. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of them, really. But we'll definitely stay up 100%.
Like I said, we've got a massive game tomorrow. People against Everton. This is Everton preview. Steve, like I said, this is a big game. People in the chat as well, get involved. If we lose tomorrow, do you think Cooper's head could have gone? I think we gone. I don't want him gone, but Steve, what do you think?
Well, as you know, Ben, sitting next to Sean Dyche a couple of weeks ago at the Villa game.
Here we go again.
If I didn't mention that already, no, we had a little chat about the game. No, this is massive pressure on this game tomorrow. I feel I'm more worried about this game than the next two against Wolves and Fulham away, because any game away is a hit in the fact that you looking to win your home games, yeah, and away from home, like we shown against West Ham, it could have gone now away, but it didn't. But at home, for the knockback last week against Brighton, we have to bounce back, and tomorrow, that's why I think it's added pressure with this game tomorrow, with their predicament as well. We don't want them to close the gap on us, because I spoke to an Everton fan in the week, and he's hearing that they may only be deducted 4. They may pull some points back from the 10 they've been deducted. I don't know if he's clutching at straws, but if we can beat them tomorrow, we need to keep these teams at arm's length. And I agree with Matt and Kieran. I don't fear us going down this season. But then we can't be that arrogant to think we're not that safe, because anything can happen in football. As we know, good teams have gone down before. Look at our West Ham team that went down in the early 2000s. Great team, they went down. It can happen.
Leicester last year as well.
Yeah, Leicester last year. I mean, this is why tomorrow's game worries me more than the next two, because I think Everton's are going to turn up. I wish I was a bit more positive like Matt, but I'm not going to say we're going to lose tomorrow. But for some reason, I just got this bad feeling about tomorrow. I don't know why. I don't know what's going to way Dyche is going to set up. He's going to frustrate us, and I don't know. I'm just hoping that I'm proven wrong, and we could just, bounce back from the Brighton game and just get back to winning ways. Because I think we need to bounce back from that Brighton game. I think, because that was a bit of for the neutral. That was just a game watch. With a neutral, brilliant. But that game, I was scratching my head like, what, the ref just lost control, and it was just a game again that could have gone either way, like the West Ham one. And like Matt said, it was people are saying, we conceded 6 goals in 2 games, but we've scored 4. It's not a ratio of 1 to 6 on 0 to 6. It was 4 to 6. So we are scoring, but then
again, it's still massive improvement from last season. We were getting beaten 6-0. We've not even had that. We've had our biggest defeat was against Liverpool, and that's pretty much it this season. It's massive.
But let's have a bit of perspective. Houghton, we knew, was crap from the season before, and they gave him 7 games, didn't they, in the Championship?
Sticking a dagger.
Yeah, but seriously, that's the benchmark. You don't sack a good manager after 3 results where you lose by the odd goal with all kinds of weird refereeing and all this stuff. It's insanity. It's madness to enter this world of madness and even talk about it, really. Give him 7 defeats on the trot, then you start talking about it, perhaps. But that's the only time. Well, how many Cooper hasn't failed, really, has he? I mean, people look for failure.
No.
Where has he failed? He's been chucked.
Wait, Matt.
Players.
Let's go here. And that's a good thing. People in the chat, where has he failed? We can talk about Luton. Yes, Luton game was a bit. It was
one game, but
what managers don't do mistakes? What managers don't do mistakes?
No, of course not. Exactly. I mean, things happen. Defenders, the ball bounces wrong. The referee gives a penalty. There's not a close offside. Whatever it is, that happens. There's a lot of teams in the Premier League that are going to lose more games than they're going to win, and we're going to be probably one of them, aren't we? But we'll be fine. Calm the fuck down. He's a good manager. Half the clubs in the Premier League would be happy to have him instead of who they've got now. You know what I mean? So why the hell are we, who've only just got it after 20 years plus, he's the guy that's got us there. He's kept us there. We were all dancing about the end of last season, just staying up. And now we're not even considering getting relegated. We're saying, we want to be entertained. We want to see, grow up. This is not...
We're not Barcelona.
Britain's Got Talent. This is the Premier League.
I love that.
Oh God.
We're not expected to have 70% possession. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, it's going to take time. But the thing is, it's not easy, and it's not going to be pretty whilst he figures it out, and whilst he has lots of new players. If you're going to go and buy a guy who can't speak English for 35 million quid, you have to play him in your midfield. It's going to take time. He's not going to suddenly know all his teammates and play, and he hasn't. So you're going to carry him for 4 or 5 games, but he's going to get better, hopefully, and that's it. And you're going to see the benefit later.
Going to the possession thing that Kieran just said, can you recall the last time we were a possession-based side? We haven't been a possession-based side for years. Since Mark Warburton.
Anyway,
since Mark Warburton. Playing out from the back.
We never have been. We've never
have been. No, even under Billy Davis, we never.
If you want that, that's not us. Go and support another team. There's probably, I don't know, maybe Wolves have all the possession, but they just can't score a damn goal, can they? That's
Liverpool,
the way it goes.
They're not a possession-based team either.
No, well, I'm sure. I don't care. All the stats are crap, aren't they, really? I mean, you can look at these stats. I mean, like the stats tell us that Gibbs White's our greatest player in every aspect, and really, he's been a disappointment since the end of last season. He's done virtually nothing. I thought the last game he was actually good. He played.
That was probably his best game of the season. Yeah,
definitely. And he's been a disappointment. We've been carrying some of those guys, haven't we? Taiwo's been out. There's plenty of reasons. It's not Cooper. Cooper's a success. It's just a question of whether he's a roaring success or whether he's just good. He's from good to brilliant. Take your pick. It's not him. He's not the problem, is he?
And I said, right, as you know, Ben, I've said in this channel countless times, the people who are at Cooper out, 9 out of 10 of them cannot give names who they'd have in. They say Cooper out, but who are you going to have in? People are mentioning that.
What's he done? What has Potter done?
Yeah,
nothing at Chelsea.
He's done something. You got to give Potter some credit.
Yeah, I think Potter. I think Potter's a good manager, but he was out of his depth at Chelsea. He was out of his depth, way out of his depth. But people have been on about that ex-Wolves manager, the Libertecchi, or
no.
I mean, he looks like a hothead. He just, for me, that won't be a right fit. That's not a right fit. But these Cooper out people, they do not give names. They just Cooper out, and then what?
Cooper's a good manager doing a good job. He's a good manager doing a good job. You're a lunatic if you want him out.
But Matt,
if you get a so-called good manager, there's a 50% chance at least he won't do very well anyway. We had lots of people who are meant to be half-decent managers. Doesn't work. Cooper and Forest, it's been a success. However you look at it, it's a success.
Yeah, but Matt, but the question is, like I said, I'm not going to be negative. people say that he's reached his limit. I'm not coming from this.
They have reached their limit. They've reached their limit. If they can't see it, it's not him. He's constantly learning. And if they don't understand, when you get a whole load of new players and they can't speak to each other, you try it. You try getting some bloke who speaks some language you've never heard of before, or some kid that's only played 15 games and you're going to play him in the Premier League. All these things are challenges. It doesn't just work. And, a Forest fan who's meant to know about football, who's seen a genius manager, which other clubs would never get the opportunity. They know how a good manager can make players play. And they've seen Cooper do it relentlessly. He's done so many things right. Why are they looking for something bad? It's insane. It's insane. I don't get it. But really, it's a good manager doing a good job. You ask anyone else, I say, Ten Hag, yeah, you stay at Man U. You're doing a great job. It's because he's not doing a great job. I want him to stay. No one's saying keep Steve Cooper so they know, you'll stay down in your place. They know if we keep Cooper, we're going to keep going up the league. It's just insane that you think, I tell you what, let's give it a punt. Let's get some other guy. You're just out of your mind.
The one thing I would say, right, and it's whoever takes over Cooper, because Cooper will eventually leave one day. Whoever comes in, it has to hit the ground running with the fans, because 95% of fans love Cooper. So whoever comes in has to win over the fans straight away, because as a slot who love Cooper, and there are fans who don't like Cooper, it's going to be so hard for the next guy to come in for us too, because as we all agree on this,
it's set a limit for us fans. What we want
as fans, fans. I said this at a time, Ben, when we took Cooper and living in the Swansea area. What the Swansea fans around here told me, what you will have with Cooper is that connection with him and the fans.
Yeah,
with the fist pump and the energy he gives and what he does for the community, and like he's done functions at the club and he interacts with the fans. Meets them after the game and before the game, and so on. The new manager comes in. Okay, every manager has different traits about him, but that's what that new manager will be up against. Cooper has got that. He said this week how much he loves the club. You'd have to physically drag him out of the club. When's the last time we had that connection with any manager? I would only say Billy Davis on his first spell. That's the only time I felt connected with a manager. And now with Cooper, it's not. Like Matt's saying, it's rare. So Cooper's got something rare as a manager. He's got that connection. Klopp has got it at Liverpool. This certain manager's got that connection. But other managers, you can just see when you see interviews, Cooper cares. And some other managers don't. They just see it, if I get sacked here, I can go on to somewhere else. And it almost like Cooper doesn't want to be. You just see it in his face. He just loves the club.
He knows it's working for him, and we know it's working for us. So, what are you thinking if you would change it? You'll get, like you say, he will go one day. Hopefully, it's a long time. I saw someone saying 3 games, 3 weeks, 3 months. I'm talking about 10 years. Let's not stop at 2 years. Let's stretch it out. But he should be getting a new contract and stuff like this. He's continuing to do a good job. What are you thinking of? Why would you change it? What drugs are you on? It's insane to think someone could come in and do a better job. I just can't. I'm not saying he's perfect.
Matt, the question is, it's called Happy Clapper Juice. That's what I get called as. No, happy.
I don't get that at all. That's what being a fan is, isn't it? Supporting, seeing what you've got and appreciating what you've got.
What about that? People say, can we talk about Everton? Yes, it all is. I say I've not had Matt or Kieran on the channel. I've had Steve loads of times about Steve Cooper, and like I said, it's good to say. Kieran, do you echo what Matt says, Kieran?
I'm literally with everything what Matt says. I agree with that. People just talk shit on Facebook most of the time and just say this and this and that. You're not really giving much of an excuse. You're just talking rubbish most of the time. Not really saying who should we get instead of Cooper. Like. He's always going to be the man for the job. He's never ever failed yet. And I don't think he will. He's going to be my manager for the next 10 years.
The happy clapper thing, I don't get as well. If you're the guy after we lose who still says, calm down, we're doing okay, you're not a happy clapper. The happy clapper is the one that was clapping at Villa and isn't clapping anymore at the moment and is crying. He's the happy clapper because he only claps when he's happy. You know, it's round the wrong way, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
round the wrong way.
Can I just say one name, right? It might be just out there, right? But if Cooper was ever to leave, and there's a certain name I would say, right? Cooper leaves, and this particular manager leaves his post, which I think he will eventually, because Newcastle will want a bigger name.
Say the Newcastle one, yeah.
Yeah, I would take Eddie Howe. That's one manager I would take.
I would.
I would take Eddie Howe. When he was linked a few years ago, I would have happily taken him. And I'm not. We would have to be in a position for him to leave Newcastle where they are going, because I know we've gone over Newcastle now. What I'm trying to say is, I think he'd be the type of manager if Cooper was to go and that fallen through with Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Eddie Howe I think he would fit Forest. I think he'd play a certain brand of football, and I think he's the kind of manager who would embrace it as well. That's just a name I'm throwing out there. But again, I agree with Matt and Kieran. I don't want Cooper to leave anytime soon. That's the here and now. You know?
I've done a poll on Cooper in and out, or I don't know. What does people's opinion in chat think? Like I said, I want Cooper in. It will eventually go, like Steve says, but I want him to stay. I'm not into that nonsense. He's done his. No, he hasn't. He's learning. He's still learning. And
I guarantee you, Ben, right? I guarantee you, if Cooper left and he's been linked with West Ham and Palace, right? If he went to one of them clubs, as Forest fans, watch him grow at that club. Maybe get into Europe. He'd be doing the fist pumps. He'd be doing all that. What we know of Cooper, we'd be sitting there spewing, knowing what we could have. You could see it happening. You could see it happening. And these fans need to realize the grass isn't always greener. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just bear with him, keep with him. He's still, like you said, Ben. He's 43, still learning.
He's 43. You know?
The thing with West Ham and Palace, they're years ahead of us, and even if he goes there, like we're only 2 years into the Premiership. Yeah, they're like 5 or 6 years ahead of us. Like that would hurt, even if he did go. But we're still improving. Oh. Why get rid of him now?
Look,
like people
Forest don't deserve Steve Cooper. We don't deserve him. We're lucky to have him, and it's embarrassing that this constantly swirls around. It's embarrassing. It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Reality check.
No, the problem right. But let me chirp in this one, because we're a Premier League team, and was it like how many managers got sacked last season? Was it 13 or 14 managers got last season?
Yeah,
half season.
Most of them. Yeah.
And I had a little joke on Twitter saying, "Oh, that manager's gone out now, blah blah blah." But I understand, like I get it, why there's going to be a few people want Steve Cooper out, and like I said, I want him in. I'm not going to pay Cooper out because I don't. But he's still a young manager. I said, people like these do sound like Sangare. He's come from a poor league, in my opinion, from PSV, a poor league, and he's just into the Premier League. It might take him 6 months to adjust in that role.
It took Lottie 6 months to perform.
Exactly. So, like I said, I'm not trying to. If people in the chat think Cooper out, like I said, that's up to them. Please do hit the like button. It has been a massive favour for me. Let's talk about Everton game. And I'll ask you, Kieran. Are you? How you feel about tomorrow? Are you confident, or because I said
I'm 50-50. It's one of them. Everton are really going to be going for it. They've got nothing to lose now with their deductive points. They're all going to frustrate us. You know what Sean Dyche and Ian Wone are like. They know.
Love Wone. Wone's legend. Wone's a legend
as always. But they are going to know what us fans do to the players. We're the 12th man. We get behind the team, we get them going, and Everton, they're going to make it difficult like they did last season. Like they nearly won that game last season at our ground. I think it could be a similar game. I've got my score prediction, but I'll say at the end.
At the end,
but it's going to be one of them games where I will expect it like it was last season. tight.
What's your feeling, Matt? Like I said, Everton points deducted. They're in the bottom three. We need to win the game. What's your thoughts on tomorrow's game?
I think they're in decent form in general, and I was disappointed last week. I thought they were back. I thought they were going to give Manchester United a decent game, if not beat them. They've played well this season. I think their XG is probably they'd be top half of the table, but for the points deduction and all that kind of stuff. They've played a lot better. And like you say, their management team know all about us, so that gives them a little bit of an unfair advantage, you could say. I'm quite confident. Again, probably more so from concentrating on us and not worrying about them so much. Like I say, fair play to them. The Premier League, all these teams in the Premier League are tough. When Luton come and visit us, or when all the bottom ones come and visit us, whose names I can't even remember, they're so insignificant. When they come and visit us, that's their cup final. They're gonna be set up to get a result against us because they have to. Their whole season depends on it, basically. I wouldn't worry about Everton too much. They're a good team, but if we play right, we know we can beat everyone at home. So I think we've been unfortunate in the last two games in a roundabout way. We're due a little bit of luck. Hopefully we'll get it, and we'll just come out. We're competing with everyone we're playing against, even if we're not always getting the results. But that's football, and we've had our fair share of, bad luck or just things happening at the wrong time, and the whistle being blown at the wrong time at the end of games when we're losing. But it's going to be a competitive game, though. I could see, same as the Brighton game. Before that, I could see any result just as likely, really. And unfortunately, they turned up. So we've got to turn up. I think we will, and I think we'll be all right, and we'll probably win in a tight game, 2-1, something like that. That's what I'd like to see. He's got his
predictions in early already.
Early predictions.
People in the comments.
Everyone always says 2-1, don't they?
People in the comments. What's your score prediction? Stay in, Kieran. Don't do it early like Matt did. Don't do it early. Just think.
I'm doing mine again. I might
be. I might. Yeah,
you might change your mind. You never know. Quick question. This is from Eddie. Do you think Everton will stay up? Yeah, I think they'll stay up. There's other teams that's worse than them. If I'm honest, Calvert Lewin, when he's fit, I know he's always injured, and that. But yeah, I think. In the chat, everyone, do you think they'll stay up? Yes or no?
One thing I will say to them, and this is what worries me about them, is they know, like Kieran said, they've got nothing to lose. Is for them, time's against them in the fact that games. If they lose tomorrow, that's another game they've gone without 3 points, and they still stuck on 4. They're 5 points from Luton. Now, if Luton pick a point or win tomorrow, before you know it, they are 8 points behind Luton. So for Everton, I kind of agree with you, lads. I think they probably stay up. But then, if they go the next 3 or 4 without a win, you don't know. Like, they're going to start really panicking because before you know it, as you know, December is rammed full of games.
Yeah.
And then you go into the new year and they're over halfway through the season and they may be still stuck on single figures. I agree with you, though. It's some terrible teams in the league this year. Like, Sheffield United are. I'm not trying to dig the dive into them again, but they're so poor. I mean, Bournemouth, I think they're just on a bit of a hot streak at the moment. I still they're the poor side. But Everton may be just fortunate that they are 3 worst sides in this league this year. Yeah.
Kevin, Everton going down, yes or no?
Yeah, they'll stay up 100%.
I think they'll stay up as well, people. People in the chat, what do you think? Everton stay up, yes or no? Please hit the like button if you can. Massive favour, please do. I'm asking you, Matt, what player needs to step up?
For us?
Yeah, for
hopefully
Forest.
Not James Garner. Hopefully not.
Yeah, hope step up. Yeah,
hope he gets a nice welcome back because he would have loved to be playing for us this season and last as well. Sangare is the obvious guy. I don't know whether he's 100% fit. I don't think he's going to probably get picked. Probably on.
Right, quick question, Matt. Right, let me just fit. I said, right, if he doesn't play, Yates has got to play.
Maybe.
What do you think?
Well, it's tricky, isn't it? 3 or 4 games ago, it was Sangare.
Mangala.
Dominguez, that's it. Mangala. Obviously, Mangala's the obvious one. But now everyone as soon as you lose a game, it's like, well, he's no good. He played badly that one game, and we haven't seen much from him, and so forth. So, yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I think we've got our squad. We've got a strong squad, and I think it might have been you actually, Stephen. Someone said, "Oh yeah, we won at Chelsea, and hardly any of that team's playing anymore." But that was like our best result of the season. So it makes you wonder whether you just could pick the so-called worst team, and it's probably as good as the best team. So, some of the people, Dominguez had some really good games. Then he had a poor game at West Ham. Sangare will get better. He hasn't played well yet, but the kind of people who are saying Cooper out are the ones saying give Sangare time, which is correct. But you've got to use the same logic and be kind of invest in these people and give them the opportunity. And like Yates played about 50 games before he did anything good, and he's paying it back now. He's paid it back for the last few seasons. So you've got to make these judgments and back them. So anyway, the question was who's got to stand up. I think Gibbs White hopefully will. I think he's been in a funk for a bit, but hopefully the last game will be something, a sign of things to come, and we'll see a little. I felt like he had that kind of energy in his feet. I don't know whether when he joined us, I felt like he had that sort of, I don't know, I can't describe it, but kind of energy in his feet. And I saw it again the last game, so I felt like, yeah, there's something there. He's a bit on it. So I'm hoping we'll see more from him the next couple of games. Sangare, obviously, Mangala's very consistent. The defence, I think, have all been pretty good on the whole.
Really?
Any of them are there. I think the defence. Well, who do you pick? I think they're all good. I mean, there's been a few individual mistakes, haven't there? But that's it. You get that, don't you, Danilo? Murillo. I always get Danilo, Murillo. That's too similar. But Murillo obviously is a brilliant player, but he's a kid. He's raw. He's doing these things for the first time, isn't he? He's made mistakes.
But Matt, my question is, I said it in another podcast, and still vouch it. We conceded 3 goals against West Ham.
Exactly.
3 against Brighton.
Yeah,
and this is like the goal against Ferguson. Ferguson got the goal, and Nick Carter should have got. I think it was Nick Carter, or I don't know, was the other one. I know. If that was Joe Worrell, right, he would have got hammered. Yeah, he got hammered. So my point is, and people in the chat as well. Like I said, I think. You
don't want to do anyone down, but like Einer's been outstanding. He costs no money and he's been brilliant. Serge costs no money. A lot of games he's been brilliant, but he's made his fair share of mistakes as well. And he's a world-class player. This is the Premier League. Players make mistakes in the Premier League, even really, really good players that play for top teams all over Europe. Musa, I think, is brilliant. He's a good player, but he's probably the most mistake-ridden out of a lot of them.
That's my problem. That's my issue. That's an issue.
He makes more mistakes. If you were doing,
but no one's calling him out. No one's calling him out. If it was Joe Worrell, everyone wants to him. Or
McKenna makes one mistake that you can see. He goes, oh, it's a mistake. Yeah, But in the minutes played, Danilo and Niakate are most gaff-prone players. Now, I don't necessarily blame them because they're all defenders make mistakes. And there's a lot of pluses to both of them and they've been playing in a back 4 instead of a 3 and all this kind of stuff. So it's not as simple as all this. And it's if you've come on cold and the other team's bombing you and you just defend. There's all kinds of circumstances that lead to these things. But individual mistakes have cost us. Einer's been brilliant, but he made an error at the wrong moment. He just didn't hit that guy hard enough. He didn't see the run. But you've also got to give them credit because the ball was sensational. The run, it was as if he read about it in the papers the week before. He knew what was going to happen. He read the whole game. Bosch, he executed it perfectly. It's hard to defend. You'd like to think Einer would have stopped him, but he didn't. Bit of an error. And the same, Murillo lost that possession. Dominguez made that error. These are big errors that they won't make again. They won't make again this season, probably.
Call me old-fashioned, right? But my opinion on the defence is I'm not a big fan of 2 left-footed players playing centre half.
I'm not.
Because how many times does Niakate look uncomfortable clearing on his right or trying to play out with his right, and he's a left-sided player? Now, I get that. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to our starting 11 later on for tomorrow. Yeah. But I'm an old-fashioned head that I think right-sided, right of the defence, Murillo's left-sided. For me, that mix doesn't work. I'm not saying Niakate and Murillo don't work great together, but like it goes back to, like I said, Matt, that Chelsea game, our starting back line was Bolly, McKenna and Worrell. And if that game was still playing out, Chelsea still wouldn't score.
Yeah.
And Chelsea have been bagging goals in for fun in the last couple of games. And we shut them out. So, I mean, I think all our centre-halves are good. I think, I know many times this channel we come up with different combinations, and I feel, it's his opinion, isn't it? It's not fact, it's his opinion. Like I always say, it's I could go with my opinion, and you boys can come up with all different kind of combinations.
You're always wrong. You're always wrong, Steve. Just for tell you that.
But you just don't know, and you don't know unless you put them in the same circumstances. You'll never know. You're honest. The truth is, you'll never know, will you? It might be the combination is the kind of the so-called worst one with the other two, the two lightweight fancy ones. It might be McKenna, the one that can head the ball, with Murillo or something stupid like this, and you haven't even thought about Felipe and stuff like this. We've got
Would you bring? Wait, Matt. Would you bring Felipe Olympics? Everyone talks about. I saw him in the London 21 match.
Difficult, isn't it? It's difficult.
People in the chat. Would you bring Felipe in? Because, like I said, me and Dave went to watch him. London 21 against Howgate. He played 60 minutes, and I thought we've got better players than him. That's my opinion, people. Like, don't shoot me. Like it's opinion, not facts. Opinion.
But him and Bolly have probably been, we're talking about defenders that make mistakes. They've probably not made any. And truthfully, you might think they might have been the ones that would, out of all of them, really, because they're the sort of reckless ones or the immobile ones, sort of things like this. And they've been really, really good. You'd have a hard time finding too many errors out of those two. So it's difficult.
The only mistake Felipe sticks out to me, the mistake. And I said this to you, Ben, the last season if Worrell had done this, he'd been stayed. When we played Chelsea away last season, Felipe dived in on Sterling, and Sterling done him at the clipper, and he put it in the bottom corner. So Felipe is prone to it as well. And you know what I mean? So there are mistakes. If you think back,
that's right.
Bolly's debut against Fulham, he was shocking.
He was shocking.
Bolly, he was shocking. We were like, why we signed this guy? So. And like my boy McKenna, he had one bad game against Burnley, and he has been seen since. Sander Berg took it off him, run around him, and McKenna had a bad game, and he has been seen since. And he's our best centre half for the last 3 or 4 years.
But you put another centre half in that position, the same circumstances, they'd probably fare no better. It's just the way the ball rolls, the bounce of the ball, the small details.
But I'm not just saying him because he's Welsh as well. But Nico Williams, he's been playing out of his skin for Wales. He's been the games I've seen him play, he's been outstanding. And when he came in against Villa, he didn't. He's up against Diaby, and Diaby couldn't get past him. So we are blessed. We're so fortunate to have these. We've got international players. Can he get in the squad?
I mean, look. Really, it shouldn't. It's more about how the team functions as a whole thing. I think it's. I know it spoils the whole program. Say who should you pick? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just make sure the team works. But that's how it is. And I think going back to Cooper, that's the problem. He's got all these players. They're all much of a muchness. It's hard. He's got some whatever they call it, too many. Cook spoiled off kind of thing, or something like that. Yeah, he's spoiled for choice, isn't he? Really?
We got Montel. We got Montel, the Argentine.
You know what? It's funny. I want him to start because he's a good player. He's won the World Cup. He's won the Europa last season as well.
But with him, right? His debut was a shocker. I forgot who was against.
That was the worst. That was worse than anyone's played since.
Burnley, yeah. But then he went to Man City and he came on and he looked good. Well, he looked decent. He couldn't play any worse.
He can play football, but he didn't show it in that first game, did he?
And then we got the left back from Arsenal. He can't even get in the team.
We've got so much defenders, people. This is a good topic. But I think Andrew said we'll see who we want in lineup. But the question is, right, let me ask you, Kieran, and see if Matt won again. People in the chat. Chris Wood. That's the most topic. Would you start him tomorrow against Everton? Yes or no? Kieran, would you start him? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
He just doesn't suit our style of play. He's got. I don't think he can run. Like, I think this is where Origi should have his chance.
Kieran, Kieran. Let me
run.
Wait. People, let me say something. But when we end of the, I think it was when Colin Hudson-Odoi came on last week. What was he doing?
He was pressing, wasn't he? He was pressing.
Right, he was crossing him in. Who would you prefer to be there, Chris Wood or Derek Origi?
Well, we haven't really seen much of Origi, have we?
What? Answer the question. All Hudson was doing is crossing the ball in, and who's at the end? Who was it was Yates one? I think it was Yates.
Yeah, Yates got a head on one of them.
Two. If that was Chris Wood.
Oh yeah.
If we play two wingers tomorrow, I want Chris Wood to start.
What? You dropped Gibbs White or something? No.
But you can still play Chris. We can still play the 4-2-3-1. Still play him. Why not? What do you think, Matt? Do you think Matt?
Look, Chris Wood, like I've been very, very critical of him, right? As much critical as you could ever be of a player, really. He's obviously scored a lot of goals, especially with his head and a few penalties and other things. Really critical of him. We should never have bought him for all that money. Absolute insanity.
Yeah,
got it.
Stupid.
Okay, put that to one side. But that game he scored 2 goals. I forget. Like, it was some shit team we were playing. He should have got 6, shouldn't he? He should have got 6, shouldn't he?
Luton.
Yeah, Luton. So he should have got 6. He could have got 6. And so if you play to his strengths, yes. That's what.
That's my point. We're not playing to his strengths.
If you're not playing to his strengths at all, he's useless. Useless. But if you've got wingers who are going to cross the ball, and we never did this, did we? Last season we didn't do it until at the end when Taiwo was fit, and then we crossed the ball a few times. We did it at the beginning, then we stopped for about 90% of the games, and we did it for the last few, and we scored a few goals. It seemed like every time he crossed it, he headed it in, really, didn't he? He didn't miss a thing. And so if we did that, Wood would make sense. But we don't generally do it, but we are doing it more this season. So maybe, if you pick the 2 wingers, if you pick Elanga and Hudson-Odoi or even one of them and switch them out and all that kind of stuff, maybe, So I didn't think I'd ever say it, but I could be inclined to pick Woody.
Steve, would you pick pick Chris Wood? Yes or no? Struggling.
I'd like to. I just to maybe just for Cooper to see if he wants to go with him. I would maybe start with Origi tomorrow, just see what he offers.
Yeah.
Just to see what he offers, because I think wherever you start with, M's are going to be physical, yeah.
Yeah.
And they are going to be physical, and I think. And I said to you, Ben, after the Luton game, that's the only game we've ever played into Wood's strengths. That's the only game. We whipped the ball in, and I agree. If we start with the 2 wingers tomorrow, they get them crosses in, you would be quite happy for Chris Wood to start. But if you have to go with the 2, I would personally just see what Origi offers, because Origi's only been making cameos at the moment. And people have commented, does he look fit? Does he look interested? But let's show it then, starting from the front. And see if he plays with heart, if he plays with a bit of press, he plays with physicality. If he gets involved, because to be fair, when he came on against West Ham, he did have a good chance. He did look a little bit sharp. So starting from the front and then maybe bring Wood on. Or why not go 2 up front towards the end of the game? Why not? I don't know. Risk it. I mean, you don't know which way the game's going to go tomorrow, but I think if you're going to go with Wood, you have to start both wingers. You have to.
Well, we've got an Everton fan here. This is from Richie. DCL did it trade yesterday. Could be a doubt. And also, no, on honour. I hope he's not.
I've got an honour. We're still there, to be honest.
Yeah, he's got play.
He's not playing for ages.
So what we're going to do, people, we've got like another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We'll see what team that we prefer to play tomorrow. We'll start with the goalkeeper situation. Kieran, we'll start with you. Who do you want in goal tomorrow?
Vlachodimos in goal.
Steve?
Him, we just said.
Vlad. Vlachodimos. Yeah, can Vlachodimos. Yes. Yeah. Chat.
Vlad.
Go on. Go on, chat.
Vlad.
Go on. Hey, chat. No. They wanted me to mess up this one, but I got it right. Yeah. You got me then. Yeah. Tweet that. Matt, who do you want to go?
Vlachodimos as well.
Okay.
I think so. I think he's more assured. I mean, okay, look, he's let in 6 goals in the last 2 games, but I don't think many of them were his fault.
Mm-hmm.
With people complaining again, he didn't do enough fancy saves. You know, it's like he only did 1 fancy save.
It could be worse. We could have an Nana in goals, couldn't we? You know, come on.
Oh, that is true. Oh, he's an awful keeper. I'll say, let me see a back 4. People in the chat, who would be your defence? We've had a conversation about defenders. Who will be your defence for tomorrow's game against Everton? We'll start with you, Matt. Who would be your back 4?
I don't know. It's a real tricky one, isn't it? I mean, I think the temptation might be to bring Serge back as right back and possibly play Aina at left back. But having said that, Toffolo's been really good. So I think it'd be very harsh to drop Toff. So I personally think he'll just stick with the same back 4 myself.
You really think? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm old-fashioned. You don't mess around with it. I think Serge is probably the most likely one to come back, don't you think?
Maybe for his experience, yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're thinking who is he likely, and then it's a question of whether you stick with Toffolo or switch Aina. I can't see him suddenly picking Nico, despite everything. I can't really see him messing around with the centre halves, really.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Kevin, what would be your defence?
I'd have Aina right back, Bolly, Murillo, and Toffolo.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? That's good. Yeah. Oh, that's mine. Steve,
Bolly. I know Felipe's not been fit this season. Bolly is our best leader at the back, along with Aurier.
That's the problem. We lack leaders.
I think with Aurier, though, I think what we're seeing now is not our first choice, rather, but he's still there to like cover. So if we need a sub on, he'll come on for like an Aina or a Toffolo. He'll always be there for cover up, and he'll still do an amazing job. And you start Aina. Aina's been probably our player of the season along with Mangala. And you can't drop Toffolo. Like, he's been sensational since he's come back in since the Brentford game. But Bolly has to be at the back for me with Murillo, just to get that bit of experience, and he gets the best out of Murillo more as well.
Steve, have I said your back 4?
Yeah, I agree with Kieran. I would go with that back 4, Bolly for the physicality as well. And it goes back to what I said earlier, just that right-sided, centre half on the right side. Nothing against Niakate. Again, a great player, but like I said, I'm quite old-fashioned. It's just, I got a bit of OCD with that. I don't know, it's a bit of an OCD. I just like seeing left-sided centre half the right side. No,
I know. No, see, you know what? When I'm in the 20 end and I see a left foot on the right side, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, no.
How many right foot centre backs have we got? Worrell.
Would you replace Stuart Pearce at right back in his heyday? No, you wouldn't have, would you?
Centre half.
You know what I mean?
So I can't say anything.
No, Kieran. No, yeah. It's
I remember one time. What Forest left back played right back? I don't know who it was.
Dan Harding.
That's the word. Dan Harding would be. He played right back under.
Yeah.
Who was the manager?
He actually played quite good under Stuart Pearce. He was
Ben used to make a run down the right and cut in every time on his left.
Every time. I think that's why Pearce got sacked. No,
that's harsh.
No, that's what Pearce got sacked, because he put him right back. He was.
No.
He was manager before him. Who was it?
Billy Davis.
Yeah, Billy Davis.
Who brought Dan Hardy in? Who brought Dan Hardy? Was it O'Driscoll? O'Driscoll?
Billy Davis.
O'Driscoll.
Yeah.
Was it O'Driscoll?
O'Driscoll, yeah.
O'Driscoll's fault. You put him right back. Yes, it was your fault. Right, we can talk off topic. Let's get back on topic. Midfield, right. Shall I put 3? I'll say 4-3-3. If you want to different to this one, who will be your midfield 3? People, midfield 3. Steve.
Well, it's going to be a midfield 3, is it?
Midfield 3. Oh no! Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to
I'm
do.
going. I'm going with Yates and Mangala sitting in because I think Yates. This game suits Yates. I think Yates, with the kind of game they play, with the high press, with the physicality, I think Yates, and he knows James Garner the way he plays. I think Yates can upset them. If Yates can put a couple of challenges on someone like Garner, stop dictating play, I think Yates will be a nuisance in this kind of game.
Yeah.
So I'd go with Yates and Mangala as my middle two because I have got options further up the pitch.
Ooh, okay. Matt, who will be your midfield? Are you on 2 or 3?
Well, Dominguez, obviously. See, Sangare is meant to be the one that sits back, isn't he? Really?
Yeah,
But
I don't think
he is, though. I don't think he is.
Well, no, he hasn't played there, but he is meant to. But is he fit?
That's sitting.
Yeah, no, I know, definitely. And he's our sort of most assured player. You know, you wouldn't pick anyone else, would you, really, at the moment? But I think long term, they probably want him to be the sort of transitional kind of guy, and they probably want Sangare to be the one that holds. But I don't know, you know, and it's kind of interesting. So it is tricky. I think Yates might have a role to play tomorrow. Sangare might not be fit anyway. Dominguez has been, I like Dominguez's energy, but he has been a little bit shaky the last couple of games. I feel like he won't get picked tomorrow. And I think the interesting thing is the number of subs we've got and the personnel we've got now and all these fullbacks like we've been talking about, I think we're perhaps and if we pick Wood especially, I could see us going for the 2 wingers and then switching out the fullbacks quite a lot. You know, and I think that in general might be a good tactic. Like you either start with I don't know, but you could do the 3 at the back, and you could, you know, whatever, how the game dictates. But I think there's a lot of mileage in pissing around with the wingers and the fullbacks and 3 at the back, perhaps, if you're chasing the game and you've got Wood on the pitch and you want to chuck the ball in, get on some fresh wingers or additional ones. So not, you know, dodging the question, I think maybe Yates, definitely Mangala, probably not Dominguez. Let's say Yates and whatever. Let's say Yates and
if Sangare doesn't play, for me, if Sangare doesn't play tomorrow, I think he will. But me personally, bring Yates in. Oh,
if Sangara's fit, Sangara and Mangala for me, but I don't think Sangara's going to play.
Yeah. Well, Cooper's not rolled him out either.
So I think, me personally, I think Yates will start. I think Yates will play. Well, that's my opinion, people. Let's go with the two hold in. What's your front 4, Kieran?
It's very hard.
Give me the chat as well. Get involved. What is your front 4? What is your front 4?
I think Gibbs White will be the number 10. Like to see Hudson-Odoi and Elanga on both sides. I'd have Elanga on that left and Hudson-Odoi on that right, and then Origi up front. See how he gets on. Give Origi a chance. Like he hasn't even started the game since he's joined. Give him a chance. Let's see how it goes.
Because he's got a good record on here. Like I said, he's won the Champions League with Liverpool. Like I said, he's got a good record as well. So what's it? Who's it? Gibbs White, Origi. Who else?
Gibbs White,
Hudson-Odoi,
and Origi, and then obviously the midfielders. It's a tough one because Steve said something about Yates being this perfect for him. If Sangare doesn't play, you have to start Yates. Probably with Mangala. It's hard because I do love Dominguez a lot. I think he's been outstanding since he's come in. Two bad games, but people can have bad games nowadays. That's the Premiership. Everyone's going to make mistakes. But maybe I think Dominguez might not start this one. Might give him a bit of a breather. May come on as a sub. If like
we've got 3 games. We've got 3 games. We've got Everton, Wolves, and Fulham.
Yeah.
Even if it comes on, I think Dominguez would be perfect. Even if we're trying to press, he's the perfect player for that in that midfield. If like Gibbs White was going to go on the wing or something, if Hudson-Odoi goes off, I think there's definitely options there. But I think that's my midfield and front 4.
Well, before the D Chapper says Elanga, Gibbs White, Origi, Wood, Scarpa, Hudson-Odoi. Scarpa can't even get in an Olympiacos team. So, I don't know where he is. Dennis West says, what's Leighton Sangari? Like I said, I've not seen the Cooper's interview. Did he say is he fit? I don't know. Is he in the team or
They
not?
said he with training, but not full training, I think.
Okay.
He was training today for sure. You know.
Yeah, they said he lost a bit of weight as well. He says he's only just come back in training and he's had a really bad virus. That's all he said, really. He hasn't even ruled him out. You know what Cooper's like, you don't give anything away.
Matt, what's your front four?
Well, I think it's difficult. I would tend to start with Origi. And like I said, my whole thing would be like, you tell me what the plan is, more tactical with, you know, whether you start with Origi and you don't put on your wingers, but that's plan B, putting on Wood and the wingers or something, or you put one of the wingers and then you switch the left backs from the solid ones to the fresh ones that attack if you're losing or if you're drawing and you want to get a winner. So don't ask me really, but I would start with Origi, Gibbs White.
And people go on. No. Origi scores past Everton every single time. Don't know if you know. Everyone knows that when he was at Liverpool. Yeah. Can I remember that goal he scored for him when they hit the bar and they scored.
Pickford messed up. Yeah.
Klopp went on the pitch as well.
Yeah, that was Cooper as well. Cooper was running the pitch with him afterwards. I'm joking. I hope we don't. Not full.
I could see Cooper doing something more conventional though, and sticking Gibbs White on the right, and going with Elanga on the left, and still having Dominguez. I could see something a lot less clever, at least initially, and then possibly bring on Wood and bring on some of the wide players. Hudson-Odoi, obviously. It's difficult, isn't it? You know, when do you play your card? Yeah, you know. You don't want to necessarily play the let's run down, you know, chuck in loads of crosses straight away and then have to retreat. You kind of think with Cooper he's going to be more conservative to start with and then have that card to play, especially at home. I think often that kind of works. If everything else fails, then you start chucking the crosses in, get the crowd behind you and see what happens.
100%. I think my front four, me personally, I think Chris Wood should be on the bench. But bring him on for the last 20 minutes from me. Start Origi because he scores past Everton. He loves scoring past Everton. So for me, start him. Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, and Morgan Gibbs-White. That's my front four. And yeah, that's mine. People in the chat, what do you think? What's your front four? What's your 11 for tomorrow's game? Please do. Right, before we go, everyone score predictions. What is your score prediction for tomorrow's game? I hope Kieran and Steve have really thought about this. I know, Matt, you've always said yours. Have you changed it? I've changed it, Matt. Have you changed?
No, 2. I think we can win. I think we'll score a couple of goals again, and we won't make any silly mistakes. Hopefully, please God.
Please God. So, Kieran, what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
We're going to win 3-2. I think we're not going to keep a clean sheet. It's going to be one of them that Everton will score. No doubt about that. Definitely a 3-2 win for Forest.
I'll take that. Steve?
2-1 Forest, I think.
I'll take that.
I think I think it should be a tight game. But one thing I will say, Everton are quite toothless. But then one player always like Decore. I don't know what it is about him.
Yeah,
I just find him irritating.
Did he score past last year? He scored past last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he always scores scruffy goals. He makes them late runs. He always seems to get his head on bottom crosses, and he's just one of them annoying players. He's just a tank, and you know, that's why I'm going for that midfield. It's going to be a battle in midfield because, to be fair, Everton I've got a bad midfield. Oh, and we forgot as well, Jack Harrison. He always likes to score against us as well.
Oh yeah, for Leeds.
He's a good player. I would have minded taking him in the summer. He was a good player.
What about him? He's a good player as well. I think I'll go for high scoring. I think I'll go for high score. 3-2 Forest. I think.
I don't see. With Everton, though, I can't see a 3-2 in them. See, I don't know.
I can see it because they'll be pumped up. Both teams under pressure as well. So I'm going for it.
But like Matt said in the beginning, Everton should have been 3-0 up against United. They 2 or 3 up. So, you know, They have
We
got.
don't want all this pressure, though, either, do we? All this pressure isn't going to help, is it? I mean, because this shouldn't be a big game. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. We definitely don't want to lose to a team like this in the same area of the league as us. But we don't want it. We don't want this to be a sort of high pressure game. But it is.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you one?
And actually, just another quick thing. The other thing, all these people say, "Oh, it's not entertaining, boring old Cooper." We've been in 2 really entertaining games. We just happen to lose them. The truth is that you just don't like losing. So you can't, what do you want? Do you want boring, where we 0-0 and we get... We've been in 2 or 3 entertaining games, really entertaining games. We just haven't won a couple of them because of individual mistakes.
Can I, sorry, Ben, can I just ask you boys' opinion on something as well? Because I hadn't much to say about the Brighton game, but against Villa, we scored early, and it just seemed like Villa never recovered. Now, against Brighton, we scored early, and Brighton, I think there was a turning point in the game. That Pedro guy coming on, I think, turned the game. I think that's the worst thing that happened.
I said, when he's better than Fatty. I think his name's Fatty.
Yeah. 100% changed the game, Ben. It changed the game.
He did.
Yeah. Do you think the way Everton are as a team, if we score early tomorrow, can you see Everton doing a Villa or a Brighton?
I
Do you think they could bounce back? You think?
Yeah.
I think they're not a patch on Brighton, mind. Everton.
I think
definitely not.
My opinion, and if chat agree with this, it would be the set pieces. Their set pieces, it would be more of a threat because I think, like I said, Dyche, he knows what to do. He's got, is it Tchaikovsky? Cody. Is Cody playing? I don't know if Cody's playing or not.
No, Cody plays for Leicester.
Oh, Cody plays Leicester, isn't it? I thought it was Cody. Who's the other one? Is it?
Braithwaite.
Braithwaite, that's it. Braithwaite got mixed up. He's a good player. So I think we've got to be careful with the set pieces. That's all I'm worried about. I don't think.
Right, I think though, Ben, where they are now in the league, even though they'll be pumped up, I think they're quite fragile as well. So if we can score early, I can't see them doing a Brighton. I think we can sniff blood then and go for it. If we can hit them early. Right? Like you said, if they settle and they start pumping the ball in and getting physical and Pickford starts doing his shit out and all that kind of thing, yeah, I think we got to dictate the game. We can't let them dictate.
100%.
We got it.
And the crowd has a big part to play, I think, as well. Because if we can see the goal, or God forbid, 2 goals, you can just imagine at half time with 2-0 down or something, a penalty and a deflection or something. It can happen. You don't want it turning sort of negative, do you?
100%. Right, we get going. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for Kieran, Steve, and the long-waiting Matt. We'll see Matt next year.
That's it. I'll come back next year for Cooper's golden year when he qualifies for Europe.
You never know. So people in chat, do you want Matt back? Yes or no? Put it in the comments as well. But yeah.
I hibernate for the next 2 months.
He's going to hibernate. We'll get the better half of Michaela on next time, people. So yeah,
no, I don't know about
that. Right, people. Thank you, everyone. Like I say, thank you for the chat, for taking the time to watch it. If you are rewatching it, watch the score predictions for tomorrow's game. I will be doing a video straight after game as well, the vlog as well, and the review show on Sunday at what time will that be? 8 o'clock. Review show, so watch out for that game. Hopefully we can win the game. And again, can Forest win? Tough game. Just need to win. Everyone can be chill. Right, thank you everyone. Thank you for the chat. Thank you everyone. And like I said, peace and love. I'll see you on Sunday for the review. Peace and love. Up the Forest.